So I'm here now. It's the summer, so I'm here in Thailand. I'm in Phuket, Thailand, to be exact. And what I wanted to talk to you guys about is money. So one of the issues here in Thailand, those that travel here know, um, you have to when you use the ATM machine, it's a lot that they take out. Okay, it's somewhere in the ballpark of like $6 to $7, and a lot of the ATMs, what they'll do is they'll cap the amount of money that you can take out. So if you're going to say like, well, let me just take out like $600 or something like that, they'll cap it so you take out like a lesser amount than that. And so what happens is it'll just keep you like going to the ATM, and those fees really rack up. And then on top of that, they'll charge that fee, and then depending on who you bank with, you'll have like international transaction fees. Okay, so that's one thing that it's not good. I have a solution to that I found, um, but it does have its limitations. So just to explain a little bit about the solution, um, what I want to do, what I'm trying to accomplish, is to go out and not deal with a lot of cash. So I'm somebody that I did live in China for a couple of years. And like the one thing I got really accustomed to when I lived in China is as long as you have a phone, that's all you need. Like I rarely even took my wallet with me in China because everything is done through, Alipay or WeChat Pay. And so for those that know, it's an app. It's similar to like if you're from the States, like a Samsung Pay, except for like everybody's on board. Like if you are trying to pay for just like some fruit at the flea market, all the way to a movie or something like an iPhone store or something like that, you can really scan and pay through WeChat Pay. So it's like as long as you got a phone, you're good. Of course, as long as that phone is charged. So I got really accustomed. See, the thing I didn't like when I started traveling to other countries, back when I lived in China, is having a wallet, particularly in countries where like there's a lot of bills. So let's say, for example, this is an older story. I'm not sure if this changed. Like when I used to live in Ghana, right? Man, I swear, if I exchanged over like $100, it would be just like this big wad of money, and you go on the bank and like they give it to you in this big plastic bag, and I was just like, dang man. So like it's hard to like kind of disguise that you got money because it's like, oh, this big old wad of money. It's hard to hide it, and it's not. I couldn't even put that in my wallet because it was so many bills. That's just how the exchange rate was then. I know they switched with the currency. Um, so I'm not sure if I have like older bills and things like that. I don't know if that's different, but anyway, certain countries you go to, it's a lot of bills for everything. So being able to scan is good. So what I found here, um, there is an app. It's called Moretta Pay. Okay, and so basically, it links with Wise, and what it does here in Thailand, it allows you to scan. Okay, um, there's limitations to it. Okay, so there's pros and cons. I was really excited when I first found out about it and it worked, but it does have its limitations. So so for the pros, you're able to go out and scan. You could operate without cash, and just scan things. I use it like when I go to the grocery store, certain restaurants. I use it there, and that's it. As long as I have my phone, I'm good. Okay, so that's the positive. I could scan. It's there's a convenience factor to it. I don't have to have my wallet. I can travel a little bit lighter, um, so that's good. Now the downside to this, two things, two flaws. Flaw number one, it takes 3 business days to transfer money. Okay, so the positive is, like, let's say you transfer money. Let's say you transfer like $500. I think they will immediately release $100 out of that, but then you have to wait 3 business days. Then the rest of the money um, will 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 clear. So that's the negative thing, is you might transfer money. You're like waiting. It seems like forever, particularly if you transfer it like on a Friday, because that means you're not really going to see that money until like Wednesday. So that's the negative side to that. Another negative side is that you could only scan to to business accounts. So, for example, a lot of times what happens is people have a personal account and they might be selling like oranges or chicken or something on the side of the road, and you try to scan it, and excuse me, you try to scan it, it doesn't work. Also, with some restaurants, doesn't work. So I'm finding it's like, now if you go into like a Tops or like a Big C, it will work. I'm noticing that your 7-Elevens don't really allow that. Your Tops do. So that's the thing. You can use it if you operate that way. Like if you go to the mall in the food court, you could just scan. You don't have to put your money, transfer money onto that little card and do all that. You can just go and scan. So it works in the mall. Um, it works at the food courts. It works at like movie theaters, like stuff that's attached to a business account, a business, the little scan thing that you scan, QR code. So that's the thing. It does work as long as it's that type of business. So that's kind of the pros and cons. But it is a solution, because I'm like, I just got tired of, um, if you operate that way, it can reduce the amount of time that you go to the ATM machine. Um, it also can, like if you do groceries and stuff like that, you could just operate in places that take that, depending on what you want to do. But I kind of just like will take out some cash, and then I'll do some transfer, and I'll try to make transfer my first priority. And then when it's things that like I can't uh, scan, then I'll pay cash. So that's made my trip a little bit more convenient, but there are limitations. Okay, so that's it's called Moretta Pay. So that's something that, now I've heard that there might be other solutions. Like I've seen other scanners, um, like True Wallet, things like that. That you have to have a bank account. And what's changed is they've really cracked down on foreigners in Thailand having Thai bank accounts. Like you have to show that you have like a job, a work visa, all that stuff in order to get a bank account. I think there used to be like different exceptions, but I'm glad I didn't like loopholes and stuff like that. I'm glad I didn't try it, because I've heard that there's a wave of foreign bank accounts that's being shut down here in Thailand. So that's something to keep in mind. But that is one hack to it, but it does have its limitations. All right, so I'm just giving you some updates here. I'm Expat D. Um, check out my channel. Feel free to like and subscribe. If you want to just see like overseas content, things like that. I've traveled to over 35 different countries, and this is what I do. I live that lifestyle, and yeah. And if you want to look at content that really helps you do this and be sustainable, because I've been doing this really on and off since woo 2005. That's when I first started doing this. I've done little trips and stuff before that, but I would say 2005 is really when I started. You know, I started really on this path. On and off more consistently. Yeah. So I'm XID. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, peace. I'm out.